Hello, hello, hello. How y'all doing? Come on in here. Welcome, welcome to Ask Alma. I'm still sucking on throat lozenges, y'all. Come on in here so you won't hear it clicking against my teeth. But anyway, come on in. Come on in and say hello to me. To Cheryl. I got a text sitting on my phone. I'm gonna hit send. I need to send to you, girl. How you doing? Hello, hello, hello. I'm so glad to see you on here with me tonight. Welcome, welcome. This is Ask Alma, and I am your host, Alma Gill. That's right. Sitting in front of the bricks. I'm trying them out. Y'all let me know what you think. It's either gonna be bricks or flowers. I haven't made up my mind yet. Somebody told me I look like I'm in jail. Somebody who will remain nameless. But I know you watching and you know I'm calling you out. Anyway, how y'all doing? I'm doing good, baby sis. I'm doing good. Blessed, blessed too. Hi, Pat. I'm so glad you made it. Yay. Hello, hello, hello. I'm so glad to see you. Demeen, come on in here. Where you at? Ayana, are you off work yet? Hey, Pat. Pat, I got your friends on tonight. We have almost a full staff of USATers. Because you know how we do. Yes, yes. Maddie Lou. Hey, girl. I miss you, Diva. I sure do. Mary Lou, one of our faithful, faithful watchers. We are sending her prayers. Yes, yes. Mary Lou is going through her chemo and she says she will not miss an episode of Ask Alma. Girl, we love you so much. Patrice, that's my baby sis. Thank you, thank you. You know what you did. I'll repeat what you did, but you know what you did. Thank you. I love you anyway, but I love you for that. Thank you very much. JP. Oh, JP said my aunt is watching me. Aunt Jean. Oh my gosh. That makes me so happy. I have tears in my eyes. Give her a hug and a kiss from me. Hi, Aunt Jean. Hi. Oh, that's so sweet. You guys, she probably, I don't know if she'll tell Jafine or not, but Jafine, put in the comments, how old is your mom? My Aunt Jean. Ah, there's a heart for you, just for you. I am so glad you guys are joining me. Tracy, good to see you, girl. You were on a panel last week. We had a great time, didn't we? Uh-huh. I told you we would. See, it took her a whole year to get on. Then she comes on. She said, oh, that wasn't bad. No, it's not bad. It's a lot of fun. Yes, my Aunt Jean is 90 and gorgeous. Okay, let me say. She has been gorgeous all her life, and she is still gorgeous at 90. I am sending hugs to you, and it means the world to me that you're watching. Thank you so much. You will hear me repeat my mother several times on this and all the episodes because you know, my mom had some advice, didn't she? All right, you guys, come on in so we can get started. I got a fantastic panel with me tonight. They've been with me before. Hey, Sharon. Hi, Lori. There's the mayor.
Look out now.
How y'all doing?
All right, how you doing?
We doing good. We want to give shout outs to Dee Dee. She's not feeling good this evening. Let's send her some good vibes.
All right.
Vibes, Dee, vibes.
Feel better, Dee.
Yes. Feel better, Dee Dee. So y'all know what happened last week. I was all choking and everything, so I'm drinking tea.
Is that only tea?
Actually, it is warm water with lemon. So yeah,
I mean, you're old enough to drink that. So
hey, Sharon, there's your cousin. What's her name? Kamika.
That's my
Hi,
baby.
Kamika. And Bessie. Hi, Bessie. Lillian, that's my godmother. So I love to sip hot water. I always have. Hot water, a little bit
lemon.
Little lemon, exactly. So I was watching this show. It's this really good show on Netflix. Y'all should check it out. Lee probably doesn't need to watch it. But ladies, y'all can check it out. It's a show on etiquette. I love it. It's like this Asian woman who is fantastic. One thing I absolutely love about her, hi Sean, is she hugs and engages everybody. Different nationalities from different countries, whatever. And I mean, she looks them in the eye and engages with them. You know what I mean? You know how some people look
to watch that. I already do that. See,
I know, but also know how like some people don't really look at you; they kind of look around you. She doesn't do that with anybody, and I absolutely love her for that. But she does a great job. It's a job on etiquette, and she mentioned that people in Japan sip hot water. I never knew that.
Yep,
I learned that on that show. I didn't know that. A lot of
people here too. My cousin is a hot water drinker, especially immediately after a meal.
Really?
The idea, is that it helps break down fat, after you've eaten.
Yeah. I wasn't hanging out with anybody who knew much about it. And every time I would do it, they would go, girl, why are you just sipping on hot water?
Oh, I do it often. One, because I don't want to drink tea so much all day. And what I learned is I really just want something hot, but with a little bit of lemon, it's just very good for you. Health-wise, it's just very good for you.
Oh, good. I love it. Because, Lori, you collect teapots?
Correct.
Is that right? Yes, you have some beautiful teapots. Yes, indeed. So it's a couple of things I'm going to run by y'all before we get started, because we got 3 really good questions tonight. Yes, they are. But anyway, I was thinking about something and I wanted to run it by y'all a little bit. I was considering, and I know this can go on for 20 minutes, so we're going to make sure we watch the time. Right. But I won't tell you what I was considering. Tell me what y'all think about what's going on with Twitter. Why don't I just say that?
A hot mess.
Yeah. In short, yeah.
Yeah, and why would you at this point? Why would you fire half the staff? If I get fired and Lee is left, Lee's got to do my job, Exactly. So that's why he's asking people, you got to work long and hard. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I read a piece in the Times earlier that said that was a calculated thing on his part, because
I think so too.
Yeah, because contractually there was some kind of thing in there about him just dismissing people outright or something, and so he gave them incentive to leave. You know what I mean?
No.
But that's a corporate ploy. That's a corporate trick. I mean, all of them do it. And, they if they can get by with less and still get the product out the door, they don't care.
Well, that's part of it.
We've seen that in the newspaper business.
But, and in most companies, but what is fascinating is you are on the hook for $44 billion with a B dollars for this. And if you've got a $44 billion engine, you got to make it fly. Now, it's not $44 billion of his dollars, but the people who finance this and put this together for him have this interest in you making this thing fly, not blow apart. And he seems to be very interested in letting it blow apart, but I can't figure out what he would get from that, because he's still on the hook for paying back $44 billion or going into bankruptcy or putting up Tesla to cover it. So, I'm trying to look at it from the business journalist standpoint and see, well, what's in this? What's he going for? I can't put my hand on all of that, but it's aside from the kerfuffle with everybody who drives the entity leaving, what does it mean for Joe Public? What does it mean for me and you who use it? And the ways which we become comfortable in using it.
Because that's the question, Lori, that I was going to ask. Would you guys consider not being on Twitter? I mean, we're all on Twitter for our platforms for various reasons. Would you consider not being on Twitter and backing out of it? To the panel.
My answer right now is I got to see, because what I've seen, the early returns are not encouraging. Because he's letting, every crooked criminal in the world back on here, except Alex Jones. But Kanye's back, Trump is back. And so he's a Republican leaning guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so in 6 months, 8 months, or a year, if this becomes a propaganda tool for the far right, we got to go. But having said that, there is some merit to some of us who are more vocal to hang around and fight, because we can't. The trepidation I have, or the fear that I have, is that this thing turns into a one-sided megaphone for the far right. And so we don't really want that to happen. But at the same time, too, you can't just chew your morals up and spit them out.
Well,
This guy's going to do something malevolent with it,
Or, Lee, does the left get another platform altogether, and you leave Twitter as it exists, sitting as sort of the Fox News of social media?
Yeah.
And because what I am waiting on really is for the folks making the exodus from Twitter to start the new,
something
they
else.
built it. Start the
start
other
something else.
social, the other public square.
I mean,
for online,
Twitter and Tweeter. We
which
could have Twitter and
I keep
Tweeter.
hearing Mastodon, moved around, but I'm not sure yet what it is.
Yeah,
and how it functions. So to answer your question,
says
though,
advertisers are fleeing. Yeah, I know that.
And that will be the death of it. Because it makes its money. You and I don't pay to use it, so it makes its money on the ads. And so the more vulgar it becomes, and the advertisers flee, that will be the death of Twitter. And so I'm just curious, the people who built it, are they going to do something else pretty soon? Or we had a life before Twitter. Everybody will come back to Facebook, or the people who, they will find the alternate public square. Because when you think of it, when the racial reckoning happened a few summers ago, the whole Black Lives Matter, we found all over the world, all right, people in London pulling down statues, people in France, I mean, all in the streets all over the world. But the message is moving quickly because of Twitter. Facebook, you got to be my friend. But Twitter had, the Twitterverse made sure the thing just had the momentum that it needed. So I don't know that it goes away. It's good public square, but I have to say personally, it's been so toxic and so tiring. Do I want to be a part of that? And when the people who I like to follow pull out,
are silent,
will I stay? I'm like Lee, I haven't
Alvin
answered
King.
that yet.
What's up,
but
Alvin?
it is
Alvin King.
I read a really good piece the other day, though, about that Musk can only push the chaos so far, because the mega advertisers,
hi Sharon,
like Adidas and those folks,
hi Wanda,
they wield a big stick over his head.
That is true.
You know what I mean?
Wanda said a new platform is being launched, and I need to shift you guys for a minute because I told y'all we could go on about about Twitter because it's so interesting, and everybody has their ideas about what we should do, shouldn't do, and it's great for conversation. John. So I want to flip for a minute from Twitter to deodorant.
What you trying to say?
Hey, because oh my gosh,
way over there.
Oh my gosh! Hey, Diane is on here. DW Faith, that's my friend Diane from oh my gosh, so many years ago. Girl, we're not even gonna mention. I'm so glad she's watching. Hey, Diane. So I'm shifting over to deodorant for a quick minute because a couple of weeks ago when we were on, I had told you guys that I ran out. My spray didn't work twice in a row. I had bought this. Hey, Dameen, I had brought this deodorant because I love spray deodorant. And everybody was telling me it's terrible for the environment and all that stuff. Yeah, I know. And Javon, who happened to be on the show that night, she was like, you should try Lumi. It's a game changer. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay, y'all, I ordered my Lumi, right? And I got it. It is game. Can I say game changer? And all I want to say about it, because I'm not here to advertise for anybody, but one thing that I will say, women of a particular age, when we use Lumi, it puts us back in the spontaneous category, if you know
fresh
what
and
I'm
dainty. All
saying.
fresh and dainty, huh? See, I am
No,
not messing with
Betsy.
y'all.
No,
La, 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 la,
You're
la,
not.
la, 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 la.
no, Betsy. Let me just say, I know it's $15, but you only use a pea size. Like she tells you that the
At
deodorant is going to last
$15,
you.
yeah.
It's going to last you 2 months plus. So if you buy regular deodorant for $3, you bought 3 of them in 2 months. So it's the same thing.
So is it a cream? It's not a stick?
It's a cream, but it's in the thing that looks like a stick. The deodorant stick, that container, that's what
Okay.
it's in. But you roll it and it pops up a little bit and you use whatever that little bit you need here, there, and everywhere. I'm telling y'all. so, so I'm just putting it out there.
So in other words, I got to stop using my screen cleaner because I've been using screen cleaner.
Could you please?
Yeah.
We're begging you. We're begging you not
Yes,
to do
yes,
that.
you
I can't
cannot.
use it
You
no more.
cannot. No
No.
more, no more. No more, no more.
All
No.
right.
Oh my goodness, you guys! Tonight is going to be so funny. I'm going to do 2 shout outs real quick, because did you guys know that today was National Cranberry Relish Day?
Uh,
Y'all didn't know that?
no.
I didn't know that either. And so, real quick, before we get to the questions, because I know my producer is like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" But anyway,
Lumi is blooming, Sean said.
that's right. Sean, I'm telling you, okay? So, do you guys do the cranberry relish or just the canned cranberry for Thanksgiving? Sharon, which one?
I don't like cranberry sauce, so I have some straight from the glacier ocean spray in the can with the ridges.
I'm
But
not
I
a
do
fan
have
of it
some
either.
cranberries. I'm gonna try to make some this year because I'm
Oh, for
that girl.
Thanksgiving.
I make
Okay.
homemade.
Okay. You got to let
All
us know how
right,
it
girl.
turns out. Lee, are you the
I am,
cranberry relish or the can?
man, I'm country as 12 brown eggs. You know that I'm using the jelly form of it in the can. Yeah, you know that. Hey, I went to somebody's house one time and they tried to do the fancy thing with the cranberries. I was
Uh-huh.
like,
Not even having it. Not
you know
even
that
having it.
you know like that commercial. Where's the jelly? You know that commercial.
Where's the Grey Poupon?
Right. Not in the jelly. No.
Lord, which one you doing?
I'm with my mom. I'm sure it's gonna come out the can with little ridges on it, so you can slice it
Yeah,
just
buddy.
right.
Yeah,
However, and which is more orderly on the plate, but my
man.
preference is the
Yes.
berries.
All
Oh
righty now.
no.
So y'all got it. Let me know in the chat. Y'all let me know which one you're gonna have. Also, let me know if y'all ain't having it, because Sharon and I are right there with you. Let us know. So, all right.
Can I say one quick thing, Alma?
Yes.
Today is also another milestone. 59 years since the assassination of JFK. Today.
Really?
It is 11/22. You are
59 years.
correct.
Can you believe that? I was a
Wow.
little old boy. 59 years.
Wow. My mother used to always say it upset her so bad she went into labor, but I was actually born September 3rd, and that really doesn't work. But who was I to tell her? Anyway.
You know, that's the first time. That's the first time I ever saw my mom. First time I saw her cry.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, all the mothers cried all day and were on the phone all day and half the
To
night
each
the
other.
next day. And it was rough in
That is
the
sad.
Black community. Yeah.
Very, very sad.
Well, I
Doug,
was
my main.
born. I just ain't gonna tell you how old I was at that
We're
time.
gonna leave. I was a couple of months, but Carl said it upset
Oh,
her
you
so
were
bad
here.
she went to labor. So we were here.
You were here.
DJ says that he's in Dayton for Thanksgiving. He just came from the grocery store and saw the cranberry relish.
Myers. I love Myers.
For the first time. But look, saw the cranberry relish. I
Relish
can't
for
say
the
that I've
first
seen
time.
cranberry
Right on,
relish.
Doug. Right, thank you, Doug. And
Okay,
And
Myers
could
is
have
a
picked it
great
up and put it
grocery
right
store, too.
back.
picked it up. Bring some to Maryland. Okay, y'all, what y'all tuned in for? We're gonna get started with these questions.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to see what you guys have to contribute to this. So let's get started. Where is question number one?
We have to do our disclaimer, right?
Oh, every time I wonder, what is he doing? He's wondering, what am I doing? And telling me in a private chat that I'm not reading, y'all, but that's okay. We ain't going to talk about that. The disclaimer is that we are not PhDs. We are your friends sitting around the table having a great conversation with you. So when you tell us and share with us your questions, we like to give you sound advice that will not hurt your feelings, but hopefully put you back on the right track. There we go. How about that disclaimer?
But we all did stay at a Holiday Inn last night. So that makes us experts, right?
That's it. That's it.
Holiday Inn or Metro or Motel 6, one or the other.
Hi everyone, happy holidays. This is Patrice, and I'm going to be your virtual video reader for this week's Ask Alma. Here is our first question. Dear Alma, my husband divorced his first wife 7 years ago. He and his ex-wife didn't have any kids. They met in college and married the year before graduation. My husband to this day says his ex-wife is his best friend. They talk every day and spend holidays together a few days before the real holiday. I'm also invited to these dinners, but I've started declining. His wife had an affair, and that ended their marriage. My husband says she was his first real friend, and he still loves her very much. He said he isn't interested in having a relationship with her, but he'll never stop having her as a part of his life. At first, I thought I could handle it because he always reassures me that he loves me and makes me feel special. But now it's just really getting old. I thought over time it would ease up, but it hasn't. I recently brought it to his attention and told him I wanted him to end it. I told him I didn't like it, and when we're all together, I feel like the third wheel. He said he explained the situation before we got married, and he reminded me that I said I was okay with it. I don't want to end my marriage, but do you think I'm wrong from wanting my husband to end this friendship? That's what he calls it. I call it a relationship. Which one of us is right?
Thank you, Patrice. She's our VVR tonight. She's fantastic. So a recap on this question. That is, what's his name again, Sharon?
Oscar.
Hey, Oscar. So this wife is writing in because her husband was married before. And his first wife is who he considers his best friend. He says they were young, super young. They got married young. The wife had an affair. It didn't work out. They divorced. He still considers her his best friend because they were so young. The wife is basically saying, look, that was then, this is now, you need to move past this. I'm not comfortable with it, and I want you to get out of this relationship. But the husband refers to it as just a friendship. And the wife does say that he makes her feel special. Like there's nothing going on between him and the ex-wife, absolutely nothing. But the friendship is still more than the wife can bear. Although she agreed with it when they got married. So is she wrong? She's wanting to know, is she wrong for bringing it up at this point because she thought it would die down. The years have gone by. It has not. And she's had about enough of it. So let's be clear. There's nothing happening between him and the ex-wife.
As far as she knows.
As far as she knows, it's the friendship, which in my opinion, could be an emotional relationship. But that is what if the ex-wife is the best friend, that's who he's going to talk about stuff with. But
Yeah.
that is what she's having a problem with. Sharon, you want to get us started off tonight?
So here's the deal. If there were children and they were having discussions about the children and how to handle things and whatnot, but I'm not feeling
No
this
kids.
whole, you spending some time with her before the holidays and she's going to forever be your best friend. And yeah, I
Right.
said it was okay, but I changed my mind.
I changed my mind.
And
I
she's
changed
entitled
my
to
mind.
change her
Right.
mind. It's a
Change my
relationship.
mind.
Yeah.
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 That's
Yeah, I'm
ridiculous.
not trying to be a third wheel on a motorcycle. I'm not.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Right.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Lee, Lori.
It's absolutely, you know what this is?
What?
That's called playing with fire. And,
Right.
and that's what Homeboy is doing. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. I'm
Yeah.
totally with my good friend Wanda Lloyd. His first wife may become his third wife. You know?
Right.
It's absolutely silly for a grown man to be sitting up talking about my first wife is my best friend and I got to spend this time with it and all that. You ain't got no dudes you can hang around with.
Right.
Right.
But
Right.
I mean, that's crazy, man. And it, like Elizabeth Galley said, it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
To the
Yeah.
to the relationship, is disrespectful to his wife. And it doesn't matter.
So
It doesn't matter
Right.
if he invites her along. Who wants
Yeah.
to go to
Don't.
that? I
Right.
don't want to go to
Right.
nothing like that.
Right.
His actions are tacit acknowledgement that he should not have divorced her. He should have forgiven her and moved on.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
clearly
Can't let
that
go.
is what has happened,
Yeah.
right?
Right. He
That's
can't let
exactly
go.
what has happened. And so
Right.
the engagement and the involvement is still there, and we don't have information on whether they divorced like right after, when you're all in your feelings
Right.
and you're wounded and blah blah blah
Right.
blah blah. We don't have that
Yeah.
kind of information, but clearly it wasn't so much that you didn't just want to sever and not be bothered all over again. What is this? How old are you? Talking about this is my best friend. What is that?
Yeah.
Right.
I
What is
know.
Right.
that?
That's
How old are
silly.
you? And
Yeah.
so
Sharon's crazy.
Although when you ask a husband, because I have asked mine, not constantly, probably in year, 5, 15, and 22, who's your best friend? And, when he looks over and says, you. Now, I know I'm probably not, because he's best friends with his homie
Right.
from the army that he's been best friends with forever.
Right.
But that's not the point. He's supposed to say it's me.
Mhm.
For the sake of just say it's me and we're going to be okay.
Mhm.
But for him to blatantly refer to another person, it could be his ex-wife or a dude. To not say that it's your wife is just rude, quite frankly.
But that's not what's agitating her. She's not agitated that he won't say this. You're not my best friend. What's
Yes.
agitating her is, what is, y'all don't have kids together? What is this? Before the
Yeah.
holidays, you
Yeah.
got to go
Yeah. It's
and
ridiculous.
spend.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't wash. It doesn't
Right,
wash. And she's
right.
not crazy. And so I'm with Sharon. It's time to say, you know what? I know what I said before, but I changed my mind.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
because
this
what did
ain't
Patrice
good, and it
say?
ain't cool.
She's
What did Patrice said that the wife is home making cranberry jelly
right.
while
Exactly.
he's out with the
Exactly.
ex-wife?
Yeah. Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
that kind of thing.
This is
Yeah.
one reason. This is one reason why we can't totally let Twitter go, because Black Twitter would have a grand
A
time.
beautiful time.
Ooh.
You know it.
Yeah, so our advice to her is no, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're very right in changing your mind. Although I am totally against, as a wife, changing your mind about sports and stuff like that after you get married, because I do think, like, if your husband likes sports or has a particular hobby that he has done and then you marry him, you have to kind of like let him continue to do that. But this
And
is
Alma,
not a sport.
it's not. But I want to raise one other thing, because what we didn't factor in here is, what's up with Chick? How come? Why are you even
Right.
entertaining that? Right? Why aren't you taking the high road and saying, dude?
It's win-win
Right.
for her.
It is a win-win for her, though, right?
Yeah, she ain't got no dog in
Yeah.
that fight. It's win-win for her. She
Yeah,
can,
no,
Yeah.
but she'd be the big girl and say, no, I'm not going. Don't we that.
she
Talk to me on
probably
the phone.
still like to do. She still like to do.
Right, because she was the one who
hanging out
messed up
with-
the marriage, remember?
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
She got her old husband without the baggage. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
exactly.
So,
Right. Right.
Yeah, and
That's true.
obviously she's not in some other relationship, because
Right.
wouldn't her guy be saying something like,
Oh, her
He would
guy
not
ain't gonna
tolerate it.
right.
He
Her
would
guy is
he
not
would-
gonna have it.
He would not tolerate it.
Right. So, like somebody else said, I don't know who it was, but in the chat they said the wife needs to introduce her to a dude, because once she has somebody, she'll be on her way and she won't be bothering her husband anymore.
Then he be walking, moping around the house and stuff.
Right.
Or following
Right.
her to see, more about busted
Hey,
open
Sharon,
cold.
Sharon, he need to get him a dog, don't he?
I got one he can rent.
That's what I'm saying. Oscar, rent Oscar for the weekend, right for the holidays.
That's right. Yeah.
You're going on
You're not.
vacation, bro.
Yeah. I think we are all in agreement that you are not wrong for feeling this way, but there is a way. Sharon said, "Yep, two Sharons, both of y'all." But there is a way. I think that you have to have this conversation. Again, I'm not agreeing with the husband, but she did say she was okay with it. Like, she saw what it was in the beginning. She said she was okay with it. So you can't just say, like, well, I don't like it now and I want you to stop, because he's not going to hear you.
Well, yeah,
No, you can't say that.
You can change your mind. People grow.
I'm not. Yeah, but you can't
But
just
you do
say,
have to
like, I
wonder
don't
what
like
in the world
it.
made her say
But
she
she
was
got
all right
skin
with
in
it
the
in the
game
beginning.
then.
You do have to say, what's up, sis? You just really wanted to get
Yeah.
married. What in the world made you okay this from the beginning?
Yeah, she didn't
Right.
have skin in the game, but she agreed to that. She got
Yeah.
skin in the game.
But
now.
Annette said that she says she's wrong because she's just feeling insecure and now she wants to change it. I see that too. I'm right there with you, Annette. Like, I really don't think, I think you can change your mind. Yes, everybody has a right to change their mind, but that doesn't mean that everybody else is going to change the script with you. That just means that you change your mind.
Right,
So I think that there has to be another full-blown conversation like they had before they got married. Like, I'm assuming she saw it, they talked about it. She said, I'm cool with it, because she was all excited to get married, probably had a dress already picked out, wanted to do her thing. Okay, well, you're in it now. Put your big girl panties on, because you're married now, as they say. I was married now. So you have to have an explanation. You can't just say, I don't like it now, so stop. That's it, really, like, you just can't, because then he'll do it without her knowing about it. So
he carries the big stick because relationships are full of emotion and adrenaline and all the kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, they're also transactional. So if you know what I'm saying? So
yes, but I'm just saying.
Explain.
She
clearer.
See. Yeah, so she carries a big stick. So she keep him out of that bedroom for about 6 weeks. We'll see how many friends he has after that.
He might go to his best friend.
Well, but that would be telling, though, right? That she would have
right. And you know what? I'm a big girl that's opposed to holding on to that to get a result, because all you're doing is you are basically making your life put on hold too. Like, you're not having a grand time either. So let's not do that. No. Like, we need to have our grand time and then go sit across the table and have a conversation. But no, don't hold on to that thinking you hurting him, because you hurting yourself too, girl. Okay,
saying,
that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Ain't no need to hurt yourself too. Okay. Anyway, I think they should have a great conversation. I really do. And yeah. Thank you, Sharon. She got to keep him in the bedroom now, B. We ain't doing that. Yeah, we ain't doing that. But you need to explain to him how, that you thought it would wind down over time, and it hasn't seemed to do that.
Exactly.
And so you feel like it's taking away time from you. And there are some things that you would like to do with him, and plan some trips, do some stuff, keep him a little bit extra busy, and then see what happens. Yeah. So, okay, good. That was good. Don't you think?
I like
that one. That was a good letter, because she, loves her husband, want to stay married. And yeah, that was pretty good. Okay, let's check out question number 2.
Hi, Alma. My mother was 16 years old when she gave birth to me and was a hot mess. She's still a hot mess. She has never grown up and is still looking for someone to save her. No, I don't know who my father is. I've worked hard since I was 14. I had a full-time job and finished college on my own. I applied for a job and I have an interview in another state. I hope I get the job because I'm ready to start my life away from my mother. To be honest, I can't wait to move away and never look back. My mother told me she hopes I get the job so we can move. I'm not taking my mother with me. She is toxic with a capital T. Is it wrong for me to feel this way? Can you distance yourself from a beyond terrible parent that brings you nothing but stress and anxiety?
Thank you, Patrice.
Patrice shook her
Reading
head and
y'all.
said, yeah.
Right. It's like, wait, girl, look, wink
I
if
know,
you
right?
want
I know.
it. Yes, yes.
This
So
gonna be
the
a pretty quick one, I think.
to recap, we gonna recap this question is if one of your parents is truly toxic, like it is not a Hallmark story, you got some major stuff going on, and your parents are very mentally, sometimes physically harmful to you,
Yeah.
is it okay to back out of it and not have that parental relationship that we're all used to and that we all talk about and hear about most of the time? So, can you cut your mama off?
um, two things though. The first thing that the letter writer has to do is stop judging your mama, who did the best she could at the time. You're talking about 16 years old. She is immature and didn't have that time or take that time to catch up. So I think two things can be true. And I think that you need to back up off of judging your mama. And then, yeah, she's a hot mess. Move on and leave sis where she is. She's going to be a hot mess. If she's one here, she's going to be one there. And the sense is, well, maybe if you get a new environment, maybe you'll calm down. But the reality is, we can only do what we know until we get a sense of development and growth to do something different, which is what the child has done who's been working since 14, right? So there's that says,
Yeah.
in essence, is saying, I've taken responsibility and I've
Hmm.
done, X, Y, Z. Well, again, a little bit more judgment because you're saying, why can't she do that?
Pretty
So
much.
so I think both things are true. Stop judging mama. She's doing the best. She did the best she could at the time. And yes, pull out, pull out. Tell sis, peace out. I'm a holler.
Sharon.
I'm a holler back.
Right. Not give her my address. Sharon, what do you think about this?
I think she should definitely move on. I just read a book where the cook gave an address and it was Yankee Stadium. Give mama the wrong address. No, but seriously though, I mean, she has to detach, and it's definitely, the mother's gonna lay the guilt trip on her, but
Mhm,
she's got to live her life, and she cannot continue, you know, this
mhm.
toxic relationship. It's toxic,
It
and
Yeah.
is.
she'll just have to. That's the way her mom has always been, but she's got her own life to live, and that's okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Lee, what do you think?
Well, I obviously I agree with Lori and Sharon, but Lori, I'm gonna tweak yours just a little bit. I don't think she was judging her when she was young. She's saying that she hasn't grown. You know what I mean?
That is the judgment though, that she hasn't
Well, she's
grown. You
right
can only
to judge
do.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
She's right
yeah.
to see that and say that.
Well, no,
It
no,
ain't
no,
a
no, no.
judgment; it's an observation. You
Well,
know?
okay. Well, if it's that, then fine. You're entitled to the observation.
Yes.
But a couple of the things in there, you just have to make sure you're not judging her because dealt the same hand.
Oh no,
Could you do
yeah.
better?
I didn't
And
hear
and
her in
and
the letter.
so, at the time, but
Yeah.
exactly, mama ain't. More importantly, She isn't trying to evolve. And that's the
Exactly.
observation. The observation is,
Right.
well,
Right.
I had a job since I was 14. Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
Mama's like, I was raising you at 16. Back down. I had
Maybe
look,
though,
look,
maybe because if the mother had her at 16 and then the daughter had to get a job at 14, Mama was doing a little bit, but what?
Well, probably Mama and Auntie and Grandma.
Right.
the whole crew.
Yes. Grandma probably.
It
Yeah.
sounds to me like the
Yeah.
extended family was probably keeping this girl in the game.
Exactly.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I understand relationships, kinships, all that stuff. Very, very difficult. You know what I mean?
Very.
And I know that somewhere in there she probably loves her mother.
Yes.
Hands down.
But she cannot continue this kind of foolishness. I mean, she has to move on. And
and not feel guilty about it. Not feel
that's
guilty
it
about
though. But that's
Yeah.
it. She's gonna, and we all feel guilty.
She's gonna
even
feel guilty.
if our mother is the worst mother ever. We all feel guilty trying to break away.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
sometimes you really have to break
You need
away.
Yeah.
Go to therapy and be okay with it.
Well, but
Therapy.
also once she can pursue her goals and dreams and hit her plateau, or at least move toward her plateau, she can then literally be in a place to help her mother if that's her desire. But if she stays there, no, that's what I'm saying. I said if it's her desire. But short of that, what Sharon said, you gotta go do you.
Yeah.
You have to see where all your potential lies.
Right.
You have to see what you can do and become in this life. Right.
Yeah.
And then should the same situation befall you where you're doing it on your own, well, now you got another set of information. But I'm with sis. Go follow that dream. Go chase it.
I'm surprised. I have to say, I am surprised at the number of women who have expressed that their mothers will say, oh yeah, go do your thing because you have to take care of me, as if it is the responsibility of the child to do great things in life, to care for the mother. I'm very appreciative and grateful to say my mother never said that to me. My mother never made me feel like she was my responsibility. And I think that has flipped a little bit with generations, maybe. I don't know. With the age, I don't know. But I have heard that, even with young mothers saying, oh, my son's going to the NFL because he's going to take care of me. Mm-hmm. Like, what is that? I think that's a lot to put on a child or a young adult. That's a lot.
But you know where that comes from, because we have embraced the extended family for so long that everything, we have like this never-ending family and this never-ending responsibility for each other. And so, one of my dear cousin, he's 88 years old, and he had moved about 5-6 years ago. He could no longer live alone. And so he moved in with his daughter, left Arkansas, went to Arizona. And, everything was cool until his health started to tilt a little bit. Now, he can get around. He can call me on the phone. We talk every day and stuff like that. But it's getting to the point where, he needs help getting in and out of the bathtub, that shaving, that sort of thing. And so his daughter's retired. She has kids and grandkids. And so, she wants to do things, And so he went into a senior facility Monday.
Oh, yeah. Monday.
Monday.
That's
Monday.
Okay.
Yeah. And I talked to him, and she called me today, and I could tell that I could feel the guilt. You know what I mean? And she was trying to she started explaining it to me, and I stopped her. And I said, listen, I've already talked to him. He understands. He understands that he was becoming a burden to her, and he didn't want to be that. And so
that's not the parent that he is. He's a parent that is not going to make you feel obligated. Right. Bessie posted, one of her friends, the mother said she didn't need insurance because her children's responsibility was to pay for her funeral. I'm always just surprised. does. Because I think,
All
is
right
it
now.
Giselle? Giselle says some mothers
You
think
better hope you
they
don't
have
end up.
entitlement.
As I said, all right now. You mess
You
around,
better
end up
hope
in a
you better
shoebox.
hope it ends up like you thinking.
You be trying to haunt people now.
Folk be having
Giselle said that,
GoFundMe's to bury
exactly.
you.
Giselle says some mothers think they have entitlement because they gave birth to you, which is so true. I've heard that too.
Yeah.
But you need to, gain respect from your children and not, make it appear as though they owe you something. Wanda says in some cultures, it is still common for children to be obligated to take care of their parents. I know that, but I also think in some of those cultures, those parents took care of those children. It wasn't like you had to raise yourself and then your mom is saying, now you're going to take care of me. I'm talking about those mothers, the ones that really didn't buckle down and do everything they could for you. And now that you were able to stand without an addiction, they are saying, hey, now what can you do to take care of me? So I got the feeling that that's where this young woman was. But more than anything, anybody who feels like a relationship is toxic, or anybody who feels like a person literally sucks the life out of them, be it your mother, your grandmother, your auntie, or your favorite uncle.
Because here's the deal. So you
You
go
can do
off
it from
to
a distance.
but also, to think about it even more at a level as more practical. You're going off to start a gig. You need to have every focus you have on your new gig, on your new
Absolutely.
town, on your new space, because that's going to help you do well there. And if
Exactly.
you're there and then you've got in your rear view, I got to get home because I got to make sure this is right, or I got to go take this one to run that errand. Your focus is not on, I'm here and I'm going to zero in on doing the best job I can. I can work as late as I want.
Right.
I can skip a meal. I can stop at the
Yeah.
fast food on the way home if I don't have these other
Hmm.
encumbrances. And I don't mean that
Yeah.
in an ugly way.
Right. But to prove yourself, like
Yeah.
you're in a position to kind of prove yourself.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And we wish you all the goodness that this world can bring you, little one. Because
Right.
although you're grown, you're still a little one to us. And we are saying prayers
Go
for you.
for it.
Lee, I want to did
I
you
was
want to
just gonna,
say something we go to?
I was just gonna say real quick. You hit the nail on the head too. That she probably needs to go and seek out some counseling to help her
Absolutely.
through this, because we often
Just
don't
based
do
on
that.
how she feels about a mom.
But,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I encourage
Yeah.
everybody to seek
Oh,
counseling.
absolutely. On your new job, you're going to get some free sessions to a counselor, and we advise you to take advantage of that.
EAP.
Absolutely. Hey, because we give good advice here on Ask Alma. Okay. All righty. Thank you guys so much.
You get Sharon was gonna say something, right?
Yeah, I lost connection for a moment there, but my friend Giselle was saying that, you still need to have respect for your parents. And,
Absolutely.
Mama said, so we can move. Well, is Mama working now? Is she contributing anyway? So that could also add to her stress level with trying to handle a new job and making sure that she's got, enough rent or mortgage or whatever to supply for her and the mom. And maybe
Yeah.
that's some additional
Well,
stress
she
she
said
doesn't
the
want to
mom
handle.
was toxic, and sometimes you can pay half the rent, but if you toxic, that's okay. I can live in half the space,
And
and
you
I'll
done
be okay.
and you jacking up
Yes.
my peace along the way.
Exactly.
Oh
That's
yeah. Oh
okay.
yeah.
That's okay.
You start jacking up my peace, you
Yeah.
got to go. I don't
No,
care if you
you
got
got
$1
to
million.
go. Right.
Talk
We
about
ain't
we
doing it.
graduated. Hey, I'm talking
Right.
about we
Right.
graduated.
We,
No,
Right.
no,
we ain't studying.
we
We
ain't.
ain't studying.
No. Question number 3. Let's check it out.
Hey, Alma. My 17-year-old son is on the wrong track. He's immature, he talks too much, never listens, and thinks he knows everything. He stopped going to school, he's stolen money from my purse, and he's totally disrespectful in his words and actions. His father isn't in the picture, and I'm doing the best I can. It took everything inside me to put my son out of the house. I recently heard he moved in with my sister. She knows all that I've gone through with my son, and I don't understand why she allowed herself to be stuck in the middle of this. I'm furious at her and him and haven't spoken to either one of them. How can I get my sister to understand she's preventing me from teaching my son the sound lessons that he needs to get back on track? She cannot undermine what I'm trying to teach him by letting him move to her house and do nothing but play video games and hang out late at night. As his mother, can I put him out of my sister's house too? She says he can't just live out in the street. Do you and your panel have any suggestions? Because I'm at the end of my rope.
Great question. Mama, the son is acting up, 17. He's acting up something terrible. So bad, mama had to put him out. And she said, you know how hard it is to put your son out. So, like, she did not do it lightly. Right. But her sister, his auntie, said, you come over here and stay at my house. And the mother is furious. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm trying to teach this boy something, and you're like opening your door so he can come over there and live with you. So her one question was, can she put him out of her sister's house, which I thought was funny.
That's hilarious.
But the second thing is, you know, she's trying to teach him something and looking for some sound advice. So no, Lori, don't suck it in. Let it out. Let it out.
You know, it's like the last one. I'm not really being double-minded, but I really do know it today in 2022, rent through the roof. Just putting him out leaves him in harm's way. He thinks he can fend for himself, but he won't. The streets will devour him before he can get up on his feet. She can't put him out of Auntie's house, and Auntie is in the space where, all right, I'm gonna make sure you got a roof over your head. Auntie could do better by saying, my rule's just like your mama's. You're gonna have to be home at X time. You're gonna have to do blah, 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 blah. But, you know, giving him space to not be on the street. I think we're in the day where, the police will shoot him down, you know, because they thought he had on the wrong hat. The streets are meaner than he realizes at age 17. He is ill prepared to fend for himself, and she's trying to teach him a lesson. Being punitive isn't really going to work, but leaving him to the street isn't going to work either.
I think that's what she might think is her first
She
point.
thinks he's going to come to himself.
Right, and he's going to be like, I can't stay out here. Well, 17, you know, they know everything. Doesn't every 17-year-old know everything?
And that's where Auntie could help her out a little bit by saying, by having say, hey, you come, but I got the same rules as your mama. And let him understand life has parameters. All right. You don't get to do what you want in jail. You got to go to bed when they say. You mad at your mama's curfew? You got one in jail. You have to go to bed when they say, eat when they say, wake up when they say. Are you serious? You better go where it's good and you can hit Netflix.
Yeah. She needs to have a conversation with her sister and just kind of talk through this whole thing, because there really is no need to be talking to him at this point. Just talk to the sister, you know, get the sisters together and talk about that. But yeah, I mean, it's a tough thing, you know, to put your kid out. I mean, it'd have to be a last resort, but she probably.
But the kid provokes it now.
Yeah, but she probably thought it was going to scare him enough. It was going to scare him great. But see, the sister stepped into it and just, you know, gave him an out. So she needs to have a conversation with her and kind of get that straight, you know.
I like Pat Walkup's comment that if he and mom see, sometimes the friction is such, you know, there's a full breakdown. And so Pat says Auntie might have a better chance of getting through to him. All right. Because if you're really buffing back at your mama, you got some issues. But I want to ask you something, Lee. Does he need, is this an instance purely where there's male leadership missing in his life? Lori. Is that what's happening, or is dude just out of control?
It's hard to say because, you know, people look at that and say, okay, if his daddy was in his life, or he had uncles or whatever, and that well may be. But I've known plenty of people who had single moms raising them, and they did just fine, who had sense and who was respected. You know, my daddy died when I was 12, and you know, I respected my mother enough not to be hanging out in the street and fighting and stealing and drinking and all that kind of stuff. And
Right.
and I took a whole lot of guff from my friends because I had to go home early. They could hang out to 1 or 2, 11:30. I was hitting for Chattanooga Street. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I was more scared and respectful of my mother than I was of them.
Right.
And so
Right.
you got to have that respect built in for your parents. And
But by 12, your dad had an impact on your life. And I don't know, didn't say, Alma, how young before the father
yeah, they
wasn't
didn't.
there, did
No,
it?
it didn't say.
Didn't say.
Mm-mm.
But yeah,
Mhm.
but still, it was after that it was about my mom.
Mhm.
Right.
And so
And you the man of the house, and son can't figure out,
yeah,
dude, this
yeah,
you could flip this totally
yeah.
and
He's a knucklehead. He's a knucklehead.
be the key support for this woman
Yeah.
emotionally.
I had a buddy whose mom was a straight up alcoholic. Nice as she could be, she wasn't abusive or anything like that, but she was embarrassing.
Mhm.
And he had every reason to act out and all that kind of stuff. And he was just all about protecting his mom,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
grew up to be a great guy,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Karen, you've been getting ready to say something. I'm sorry.
Maturity.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm not sure where she expected him to go. I think again, she thought that would scare him into acting right. But you reach a point where, he didn't just start acting out. He's probably
Right.
been a spoiled little brat for some years now, and she's
Right.
expecting to rein him in,
It
and
was
all of a
cute
sudden
at first.
Right,
Mhm.
right,
Mhm.
right.
Mhm.
Oh,
Mhm.
he
Exactly.
in the
stomping my
corner. That's
foot because I
cute.
don't get this game, and yeah.
We
So
let him pee in the corner.
Right. Yeah, it's cute.
Right. He was little buka buka tuka tuka, and now you can't figure out why he's out of control.
Yeah.
Really?
Right.
yeah, and the question is the father? Does she have any kind of relationship with the father where she could call and say,
Yeah,
"You
good
need to
point.
talk to Junebug because
Good point.
It
he's
does.
acting
She
out."
said it doesn't mention anything in her question
I think she said he's out
about
of the picture or
right.
something.
His father's
Yeah,
out.
but I mean,
His
could
father
she place
isn't
a
in the
call?
picture, is what she said.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Well,
you know
Yeah.
what? But what would he say? Because that's another thing. Like I think it's. I know it's not always about fairness, but if you've never been a father to a kid, and then the kid is acting up, and then you have this guy walk in the room like it's supposed to mean something, most kids be like, "Who? What you send him in here for? Like
right. Where
you've
you
never
been?
done or said anything to me before. Why
Which
you
could be
coming
the
up in
source
here
of his
now?"
anger. Which could also be a
Yes,
part of his
yes,
anger.
yeah,
True.
absolutely.
And so,
But I
so,
do
so you were
think
talking
that,
about counseling before. This is a counseling
yeah, this is
situation.
a counseling situation too. But I also think the two sisters have a better chance of getting to him together than they do separately. Like
Yeah.
they don't realize how much leverage they have together on this. And if they could come together and like Lori and Lee mentioned, get you here it is. Like DJ said, before you turn 18, you're 17. At 18, you're going to be an adult. So before you get to that place, we're going to do everything we can to get you to finish school, at least finish high school or get your GED, one or the other. But that's what you're going to have to do. That's a
Mhm.
requirement for you to stay here or stay there. You
Mhm.
have to do that.
Mhm.
And if you can't do that, then you hit the streets where you want to be.
Yeah.
And that is hard. That is
That's
hard. That
That's
is hard.
Elizabeth Galley just pointed out that one thing that we haven't incorporated into our conversation here is that the parent or guardian is still legally obligated to take care of the kid
Absolutely.
until 18. So
That's right.
I guess technically he could call the people on mom if he wanted to.
Oh my gosh. My granddaughter last week was talking about something and said like, and if you are afraid, you could call the popo. And then she says, Grandma, that's a slang for police. That's how when you say popo, you mean the police. And I'm sitting there thinking, I know who the popo is. I
Right.
just didn't know you knew
You
who
knew who the popo was.
But yes, they can still call the popo, or he can still call the popo on his mother. Although, you know what? Something Lee brought up with your friend and how he protected his mom, and then you and your fear for your mother. I was more afraid of my mother than the police.
I'm telling
Like
you.
it was
I'm
like
telling you.
I knew Reverend Martin wasn't going to do anything because my father loved me dearly, and I got away with everything with my father. But But my mother, the first lady, the inventor of side eye and talk to you without moving her lips.
Yeah.
What you talking about?
Yeah.
You were not. She like my mother would deliver you to the jail before she let you get to a point where you talk back. Or this guy, this mom said that he stole out of her purse.
So yeah, that's the game for Sharon.
Please. Please. That ain't nothing even crossed my mind. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
What? I'd
Yeah.
rather rob a bank before I touch Carol's
I'm
purse.
telling you,
Right.
hey, I'd rather rob the church office than go into my mama's purse.
Exactly. Exactly.
Uh-uh.
Exactly.
Uh-uh.
But hey, Lee, when you would go home to make sure you were there, I'm asking, was a part of it also to did you sense even at that young age that you were protecting her as well because you
Yeah,
were the man and
absolutely.
she wasn't there by herself? So
Absolutely. I mean, that's
dude
one.
just has zero kind of filter
Well,
and
I went
recognition.
home. Well,
Absolutely.
I went home, y'all. I went home on time because Carl was the one who had on the trench coat and the rollers in her hair. Because remember, it was Saturday. We had to go to church on Sunday, and you were
Yeah.
not going to embarrass her
That's
for
right.
Sunday service. So,
That's
you
right.
know, 11:50, 11, no, at 12:01, she'd be pulling around in the car wherever I was supposed to be.
Oh
So you'd
no.
be like, oh no, okay, I'm going home.
No,
Nope,
no,
I'm
no.
going home.
Whether it was
But,
when the
you know,
street lights
Sharon was,
came on or a certain
yeah,
time, if you
right,
Yes.
skipped it, you probably wasn't going back out for another 2,
right.
3
Oh, oh
months.
my God.
So
It
you
was
better
not
hit it.
even, yeah. And that was the other thing too that I think is so fantastic with the mothers of back in the day as opposed to the moms now. Back in the day, if you were on punishment, you were on punishment. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They
Oh,
said
yeah.
their word was their bond. That's what they told you.
Yeah.
A week, and that's it. And it's funny because now, like, you can get out for good behavior. Because sometimes the
Yeah,
mothers be
yeah.
like,
Or you can
oh,
sit in
yeah,
your
okay.
room.
Giselle B
You
said
can sit in
street
your
lights.
room and watch TV. You
Yeah,
know
you
what I
can sit in
mean?
your room and watch TV.
If TV
No.
wasn't
Yeah.
taken off the
But see,
table, you
Right.
make it
and,
as punitive,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But
Sharon and
I think that needs to come back.
yeah, it does. Sharon and
Yeah.
I grew up in Arkansas. We have a great deal in common. We went to college together. Both of our moms were beauticians. You know what I mean? And so we, over the years, we've traded stories, and it seems like we talking about each other's
The
mother.
same woman.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
That's right. That's
It was
right.
the
Hmm.
same,
Yes.
and you bet
Yes.
not. I mean, not once in my life have I ever thought about. I mean, I'd ask my mother for a peppermint out of her purse. You know, I wouldn't even go in there
Right.
with
You
a
wouldn't
peppermint.
exactly. You better not go in it.
Say, where my keys? Hand me my keys. Hand her the whole purse.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
my husband will do that to this day. I go, Gil, can you hand me my keys? He hand me the whole purse. I didn't ask you for the whole purse. I just asked you for the key. Can
Training.
you
That's
reach down in there and give
training.
me the key?
That's mama
No.
training.
Here
Yeah,
you go.
yeah,
You go
yeah.
take your
Hey,
purse.
Alma, we could have a whole show just talking about growing up
Right.
in a black household. You know,
Exactly. It's
Oh my
different.
gosh, it's this thing on Facebook. I am going to have to find it and put it up in the chat. And it
Mhm.
says similar, it says familiar sayings from growing up in an African American household.
I've seen that.
And have you seen that where people are, oh my gosh, it is so
Oh,
And
funny.
like
You laugh out loud. Oh my
like
gosh, you
like
laugh out loud.
7/8 of
Yeah.
them you absolutely identify with. Not
Well,
not
close
half,
that
not
door, you let
3/4,
the air out.
7/8.
Don't sit on the bed with your outdoor clothes on. Okay,
Hmm.
don't sit on my
Don't go in my front room.
What does it have to do with anything? Like what? Oh my gosh, this is so funny. Thank you guys for tonight. It was
Thank
such a
you.
joy, as I knew it would be. I love hanging out with you guys. My favorite crew, my favorite crew. Thanksgiving is coming up, so I want to say happy Thanksgiving to
Happy
all of you.
Thanksgiving.
Everybody who watched, oh my gosh, we appreciate you more than you know. I am so grateful that you guys come back here every Tuesday at 7 o'clock to spend time with us. I am so, so grateful. Thank you. Thank you. My VVR, my sis, Patrice, thank you. You did a fantastic job.
Yay, Patrice.
Love the advice. Love the advice. Yes. Great job. Sharon, Lori, Lee, you know, y'all, I love you to pieces. Have a great Thanksgiving with your families. And we'll see y'all next Tuesday at 7.
All right.
Come on back. All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, everyone.